Hello, this is Margaret Jameson, Granny Maggie of Granny Magic, and I wanted to address a question I received earlier during a live. Today's question was, how can I help someone who is passing from this life and suffering? It's challenging to watch somebody we love suffer when we know the outcome can only be death, and that the healing is not the healing we seek of restoration to fullness of life. Hospice workers, death doulas are trained to help the dying through that transition, but not by wanting to speed up the process or pushing them towards death, but by helping relieve some of that suffering, possibly through medication, other types of techniques that make people more comfortable, holistic therapies, and they want to help the dying fulfill these last months, days of their lives so that they can accomplish what it is they want with that time and that they live fully those last days. They live with dignity. Their choices are respected, that they have some control over the process. This is less about our looking for things to do for them and more about addressing what they want for these last days. They are being generally spiritually prepared for the passing by the other side. There's a lot of evidence, and if it makes you feel better, do some research on this, that in the times before they pass, they are contacted by people they loved from the other side, by angels. They're being watched over, they're being prepared. You can see them slowly draw away from this world. Sometimes they drink less, they eat less, they may doze. You may see them looking off and smiling, calling out names of people they loved who have passed to the other side. Many times there's a sense of peace. There are people who struggle with the pain and hopefully through hospice are able to get medication if they want that to deal with the pain. There are so many things that can be done, but all under the control of the person who's passing. It's very challenging for us to keep our grief, in a sense, compartmentalized a little bit so that we're not hustling them to end it because we want this to be over, but we respect their pace. They know when it's time to pass, and when it's time, they do. And I really encourage anyone who's struggling with that to seek help if you're caring for someone. Like I said, hospice workers, they have people who will come out and relieve you. Death doulas, to do everything they can to comfort the person who's dying and encourage that spiritual preparation that they're doing. There's not an easy answer. And if you're feeling that alone, you need to get support from someone who works in this field and can help you. And more importantly, the person who's dying needs that support. Honor the wishes of the person who's passing. Honor their dignity, support their sense of control, give them what they ask for, and as much as possible, set aside your grieving for when they're really gone, because they're still alive each minute. Advocate for them. If they need pain medication, advocate so that you can get hospice involved. But it's a very difficult position to be in with no easy answers, because we learn a lot about ourselves when we look down that dark tunnel of death. We're seeing ourselves. And I think anytime we see suffering and we're facing death, there are big questions that loom in our lives. It's like looking in a mirror that's slightly distorted in some ways. So my advice very much is to trust the process of death and to trust that the other side knows this is happening and they're there supporting this person. Do what you can. Be an advocate, support, realize your emotions don't necessarily represent the emotions of the person who's passing. And when the time is right, they will pass. And a lot of times it's them choosing. They're waiting for some type of call, signal, message, and they know it's time. I don't know if this helps. I hope it does. My sympathy goes out to anybody in this position. I don't know if it's comforting, but it's my honest advice. And much love to anybody who's going through this. I know how hard this is, and I wish you well.